Again, good morning, everyone. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining second event of SONiC Workshop India. Uh, this year, the number of submission to attend has been definitely increased. That's why you guys can see a bigger arrangement, bigger hall, and I hope you all had a good breakfast. Um, this is the only platform in India what we have where everybody who is directly or indirectly contributing in SONiC is coming on a same platform and talking to each other and sharing the thoughts. So thanks a lot again for all the presenters who are flying from local India as well as outside of India to come for this event. And thanks a lot everyone who is coming just to listen the thoughts, what is happening in the SONiC space. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Ashay. I am part of the SONiC outreach community, and in Microsoft, in Azure networking, I do maintain the quality part on a small level. And what I will be, I think, yeah, we will start. We have a very tight agenda. So what we will do, we will stick to the agenda, and I will try to close. I have a couple of people reaching out to me in the morning. They have a early flight in evening, so we'll try to finish it by 5:30. I hope it will be a good day of learning and good day of connecting with all other members of the SONiC. With this, thanks a lot and welcome again to the second event. And I will hand off to Dave to kick off the SONiC Workshop India 2024. Thanks, everyone.
Well, great. Thanks very much, Ashay. Are you able to hear me here? Okay, great. So my thanks again to all the organizers for the SONiC Workshop India, Ashay and everyone else who's gathering to share ideas and help generate more energy for SONiC. My name is Dave Maltz. I am the corporate vice president at Microsoft responsible for Azure networking. That's my day job. But I'm also very privileged to be the chair of the governing board of the SONiC Foundation, which is the part of the Linux Foundation that is dedicated to making sure that SONiC is out there as an available open source operating system for network architects and network engineers who want to have control over their own destiny and help shape the future of networking through open source. I want to talk just a little bit about sort of what keeps me excited about SONiC and some of the opportunities we have in the space before I'll then hand off to Lei Wan, chair of the technical steering committee, who will tell you more about what's going on with SONiC, and then into the very exciting program then put together. We'll be learning from you about how each of you, your companies, are using SONiC, how you as individuals are contributing to SONiC to make it into the default network operating system for use in all the various scenarios which are necessary. So SONiC continues to see great adoption. Del Oro, who is one of these major marketing study campaigns, estimates that there are more than 6 million switch ports running on SONiC. The number continues to increase rapidly, and as we look forward into 2027, it's another quantum jump, almost doubling again in size. Other folks like Gartner's have also seen the momentum that SONiC has in terms of the network operating system that's going to be running switches across all different types of scenarios. That creates great opportunities for us as a SONiC community, creates great responsibilities on us. There are a lot of customers, users out there who are betting their businesses and their user spaces on SONiC. Makes testing critical. It makes the design reviews that we do before we implement features critical, because SONiC, we have the market lead at this point in time. It is ours to win, but it's also ours to lose. We can't disappoint the people who are counting on SONiC, and it means that we have to make sure that we really are producing the most reliable, most extensible network operating system. So we'll continue to have these wins in the market. Again, lots of great momentum in this space. A bunch of major companies like Walmart are now talking and blogging about how they are adopting SONiC and the benefits they're getting from doing so. We have a number of upcoming use case studies coming out from the SONiC Foundation as well. Again, trying to explain to people who are considering adopting SONiC what benefits they could gain from doing so, as well as putting together more detailed how-tos so that regardless of what a potential user of SONiC might imagine as the scenario, there are some ready-made configurations, examples that they can start on to begin their adoption of SONiC story. As you think about extending SONiC, creating new capabilities in SONiC, applying to new SONiC to new scenarios, my ask is that you also think about generating what we call collateral, slide decks, blogs, videos that would help explain to someone else the journey that you've been on, the features and capabilities that you've created, what led you to do so, to help trailblaze the paths that other adopters can follow, that other innovators can follow, because that's going to feed into the energy in SONiC, which is going to keep this positive flywheel going, that'll make SONiC more useful, more successful to everybody, and ultimately all benefit all of us who are the adopters of SONiC. I truly believe that the more people who use SONiC, the more people who contribute to it, the more battle-tested it will become, the more useful it will become, the more reliable it will become. We've been doing great so far. Again, probably you've seen this sort of chart many times. The total number of companies and different adopters, different contributors who are onboarding into the SONiC ecosystem and the wide variety of scenarios they're applying to. Again, that's the kind of momentum that we want to keep up. And ultimately, I want to look back to you all. As an open source project, I believe that the right way to measure the success of the project is by how many people are contributing to the project, how many people are using the project, and what kind of effect it's having on the world at large. And so happy to see that over the course of 2023, we got up to 2,000 active contributors. We had these 4 in-person events over 2023. At that point, we're at 17 members of the SONiC Foundation and over 300,000 impressions from social media on potential users and adopters of SONiC. Again, thank you for participating in the 2024 SONiC India workshop. We've got a bunch of other workshops scheduled all around the world to help reach out and grow this community of both collaborators, contributors, and adopters of SONiC. Think again, the press is picking up SONiC. There's a lot of positive press out there. We want to keep that going. Again, the way to keep it going as positive press is to make sure that all the features we're committing are well tested, that we are creating those scenarios that other people can adopt. We are all in this together, and I'm asking each of us to commit ourselves to both advancing SONiC as well as making sure that all the contributions we're making to SONiC are truly battle tested, so this remains an operating system that all the adopters can depend on. As we say that, we're also, of course, continuing to take SONiC forward into a whole bunch of new types of scenarios. Today, there are going to be presentations that address a lot of these. How we can apply SONiC on campus networks, at edge networks, on enterprises. How we can take SONiC and use it to accelerate data planes in many kinds. Use SONiC to run these data processing units, these DPU coprocessors that allow us to get tremendous power to manipulate packets at the line rate of modern switching ASICs. AI, of course, critically important. AI traditionally the realm of an InfiniBand backend network, but I believe, like many other people believe, and many have demonstrated, that we can use Ethernet networks and networks running SONiC to enable AI training clusters, AI inferencing clusters, and bring the benefits of SONiC to that very important workspace where the ability to have telemetry, custom deployments, custom forwarding logic, gives us the ability to get even more out of investments people are making into GPUs, even more out of our AI training and inferencing clusters. And then ultimately, of course, also reaching out to academic networks. Academic networks are very interesting enterprise networks. They're also great lab studies, and they're also where the next generation of network engineers and computer scientists are being trained. We want to make sure that SONiC is present in their labs and in their campus networks, so that if junior engineers are being raised on SONiC, they will turn to SONiC as they begin their professional careers, and that again keeps that beneficial cycle going. There's a slide I used last year in welcoming you all to this workshop, and I want to use it again this year because I think it's even more true. I think we can all be proud that through SONiC, we are changing the world. We are changing the way that networking is done. We're changing what's possible. We're creating more reliable networks by, again, sharing the experiences each of us have deploying SONiC in our own use cases, by working to make sure that SONiC is battle-tested, battle-hardened, that we're implementing those test cases and automation to make sure that every SONiC release and every SONiC feature is going to run at quality. By containerizing SONiC, we're enabling faster innovation so that adopters can use exactly the code and the capabilities they want, and not subject themselves to code or capabilities that they may not be using, but also making sure that SONiC is a platform on which it's easy to innovate on top of, and the SONiC community is one that is positioning itself with the design processes, the design reviews, and the code reviews, and the testing necessary to make sure that we can take ideas into the community, evaluate them, get them implemented, and get them usable by the community as quickly as possible. Third thing, again, SONiC's really doing is helping us with better operations, the ability to treat our switches and our routers, and in the same way that we treat our servers, to bring the capabilities of running containerized logic on our switches that can help us with telemetry to understand how our networks are functioning, to bring AI and machine learning onto our switches, not just to help AI training clusters, but to also use AI and machine learning to help us operate and run our networks better. These are all part of the potential and promise of SONiC. And again, over the course of the day today, you're going to hear a lot of interesting talks that touch on many of these different aspects of what's becoming possible. And so I thank you for participating in the workshop, for participating in SONiC, and help really create the future of networking in the world. So with that, I don't even know if we have any time for questions. If we don't, I'll hand off to Liwan, the next speaker, to keep this the day on track. So thank you all very much.
Thanks a lot, Dave, for sharing your thoughts. Anybody has any question for Dave? Okay. Then we would like to welcome Lihua to go ahead next.
Okay, thanks Ashay, thanks Dave. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen now? Actually, can you see my screen?
We can see your screen, Lihua.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, thanks for inviting me to this talk, and I really appreciate the momentum of SONiC is having in India. This is second year of the workshop, and it's just fantastic that we are able to meet online and chat about the progress of SONiC as a community, right, including the India community. And today I invited Yan Zhao to join me. Right, Yan Zhao is a SONiC community manager, and I'm the technical steering committee chair. Right, so Yan Zhao will be sharing the 2024 updates of SONiC. Well, we are still in the thick of it, right? And then I'll go a little bit deep dive on SONiC Dash and with the smart switch, right? So Yan Zhao.
Thank you, Li Hua. So
okay, I'll let you get started. Yeah.
Yeah, so as you may know that, in each year we have two SONiC release. We call, May release and the November release. So we just forked the 2024-05, which is the May release. So this release, we got a lot of the attention, and very hot participation from the worldwide community members. So in total, there are more than 100 features proposed. By June 4, we delivered 37. So we also have some features, due to the HLD or code PR is like too big to be covered in one release. So we defer this about 20 features to the next release. On the right side of this page, you can see, the May release, the milestones and also the timeline. So for each May release, basically it's follow the similar pattern. You just change the, the year times and also about the usually we just fork the release by end of the May, but 2024-05 is a little bit delay, several days delay. That's why we forked in the June 4th. So, the SONiC community now is pretty hot, but in each community we have a weekly community meeting, which is on Tuesday morning PST time from 8 to 9. So as you know, we have limited time to review all the HLDs. So usually we use that meetings to review the, feature design. So, but we have limited time. Then we have we have an improvement plan. We leverage the work group. So inside the SONiC community, we created a multiple work group. For each work group have a specific focus, like we have the AI group. So I will cover more details later. We also have another group focused on the optical, and also we have a work group focused on the routing. So those work groups actually helped a lot for the community to deliver more features. So usually the specific features will go to that work group, and the group members will work together, review the HLD and review the code PRs, which contributed and also accelerated the feature delivery for SONiC. So in the 2024-05, we have about 20% PRs. The features are reviewed in the specific work group. So for the 2024-05, we also published a blog in the Linux Foundation website. So if you have interest, you just check the link and get more details. Okay. Another lessons learned from the 2024-05 release is, when we fork the new branch, we worked at Microsoft worked together with Broadcom and also NVIDIA. We, basically go through all the features one by one and check the status to see, whether one features will go into this release or need to be moved to later. So one lesson learned for this one from this whole process is, we need to identify a release manager a little bit early. That is what we are following with the 2024-11 release. Okay. Another one is like for each release, all the release plan has been published in the GitHub project, which is open to anyone in this world. So if you join the SONiC community meetings, you will see all those information there as well. So next page, please. Okay. The 2024-11 release is ongoing now. So as I said, you can get all the feature details from the GitHub project webpage. Currently, we have 46 candidate features. These numbers may be increased a little bit later. So since we still have some new ideas coming, those features comes from the 10 companies, and also each week we have the HLD reviewed. When by the time when this slide was created, about 15 HLD has been reviewed and also working in progress. So on the table you can see the overall schedule. So by end of this November, we are planning to fork the new release. So basically that is the plan. I also encourage people to join the SONiC community meeting, or you just join the SONiC community and contribute on the HLD and the code PR review. So we do need help from everyone in this world and also everyone in this SONiC community to help on those code review. So next page. Okay, so security is a very hot topic, and also is a top priority for whole Microsoft company, and also for the SONiC community. With that in mind, in this year, we defined a SONiC security and vulnerability management process. So the document has been merged to the GitHub. So if you click the link, you basically can find those detailed information. So we published on this May. And also by following that one, let's say if someone has some find one vulnerability and also they want to, just privately deliver those messages, they can send an email to a specific mail alias, security@sonicfoundation.dev. So that one, that email thread is private. Only authorized peoples can access to the emails in that work group. So that team, so we call the SONiC Security Committee. They will triage all those reported vulnerabilities and also identify the mitigation plan, collaborate with the reporter and also the potential impacted stakeholders to address those vulnerabilities. Then once we are at a certain stage, so we will publish those vulnerabilities and also make the whole SONiC community and also the SONiC product more secure. So that is basically the high-level process for the SONiC security and vulnerability governance. So if you want to receive all the vulnerability update, you can just register the SONiC /security/announce. So you will get all the information. That mail thread is public. Anyone can join that email thread and do some discussion about the security part. Another improvement in this SONiC community is like the SBOM. So we enable the SBOM for all the community build. Then the community can know, okay, these features comes from who and where is the source of the code, right? So this one will provide more transparent and also more secure code for the SONiC community. Okay. Next page, please. So besides the security, quality is another major focus for the SONiC community. So on this page, you can see this is the the SONiC community master build. So we invest a lot to increase the test coverage. So in the last year, we increased about 20% test case coverage. So we added a new test case, and also we saved the left to identify the new bugs early. So we just we target for the control plane test coverage. We target for each PR. We must make sure there is a test case covered for that one. For the data plane coverage, we are targeting 50%. So currently, I think we are above the goal already. We also run the configuration check to make sure when we create the build, the image quality will be high. Okay, so we also another improvement is on the when we fork the new branch, we also pick up a high pass rate data point to make sure the forked SONiC image has high quality. Right. By that one, we also have a dedicated team to address the regression and also keep improving the pass rate. So our overall goal is 100 pass rate when we fork the new release. So that is our major investment and focus on the SONiC master branch image qualification. Next page, please. Okay. So as I mentioned, we have multiple work groups. So this page just to provide a quick update on the AI work group. As Dave mentioned, AI is a hot areas. So SONiC community, we set up an AI work group. We also identified the 3 major work streams, which is like the fabric work streams, focus on the topology, how to set up the AI topology with the Ethernet. And also we are focusing the routing. Next work stream is the traffic management, like the congestion control, load balance, PFC, etc., etc. The last work stream is the telemetry. Basically that work stream is like focused on which kind of the monitor alert metrics is required in order to identify the the networking failures and also repair. So all those three work streams, the work group has finished the discussion. So if you have interest, basically you can go to the website and check all the recordings and also the documents. So you can find all those information there. And we also invited the Super Micro to share the experience by enabling the AI networking with Ethernet and also with SONiC. So the next step for the AI work group is we will deliver a presentation in the coming 2024 OCP Summit. Just share all the outcomes from this V team. Okay, that's the update for AI work group. Next page, please. Smart switch. This one I think Li Hua has a dedicated session later to talk about the dash and also smart switch. So this page basically lists what has been achieved and delivered in the 2024 or until 2024. So we finished several high-level design review, and also the database design has been completed. The next focus for the smart switch work group is finish the design for several specific scenarios like the private link and the private link NSG on smart switch. So smart switch essentially is about offloading and efficiency, scalability, those kind of the benefit. Okay. We also have another work group is optics. So this one is like early stage. We just finished the OCP services at a high level, which services should be covered by the the OTN services. And also we finished the plan review for the OTN virtual platforms and KVM device. So basically we are trying to create a virtual device to run the optical test. The next focus for the OTN work group is just, we want to establish the overall architecture for the OTN services. Then, we can go deep on that areas. Go next page, please. Okay, the last one is a routing work group. This work group is basically to address the challenge, with the, let's say if SONiC go to the BGP table or the routing table is huge. It's pretty huge. And then how to improve the performance for those, is my major focus for this routing work group. So I think Alibaba is basically leading this work group. So they also delivered a lot of the design and ideas on about these areas to improve the routing behavior. Okay, next page. Okay, I think that's all. So I will hand over back to Li Hua. Thank you, guys.
Hey, thanks, Yanzhao. So Yanzhao covered a lot of the broadly of all the efforts a lot of efforts in the community, right? And SONiC really covers a lot of scenarios. The smart switch, AI, optical, right? So and the basic all the core routing skills, right? So so I won't be able to deep dive on each one of this. So I just picked one on the SDN, right, Dash project, right? So if just to give people a little bit context, right? So if you look at Microsoft, right, the network is gigantic, right? A lot of regions, a lot of data centers, and miles of fibers, right? So it's and on top of the network, right, we know that we're forwarding a lot of packets. But actually, and with the standard network devices, switch and routers, right? But actually, to the users, a lot of time the connection are stateful, right? Typically, a switch, a network device, are not involved in those stateful connections, right? But and these days, I think with the scale and with the challenge we're facing, right? If you look at virtual appliance, right, that people have on Azure, right? There's millions and millions of connections, right, and a lot of services, right, and a lot of processing, deep processings, right. So it's much more than simple packet processing that people are asking from network, right. And having the end host handling all of that is becoming not a super economical and super performant or super scalable solution, right. So this smart switch project is built on the top of a few things, right? On the hardware side, you have a classic switch ASIC, and then on the there's also the emerging hardware category of a data processing unit or infrastructure processing unit, however you want to call it. Those are basically the accelerators, right? Can handle high flow rate scale and handle the service offload, right? And we build on the foundation of SONiC, which is open source and which is modular, which is extensible, right? And we actually extended with Dash, and the Dash stands for disaggregated host API of SONiC. Right, so I'll get a little bit deeper into this, right? So this is the familiar picture of the foundation of SONiC, right? And you have the hardware, you have an infrastructure layer with a SI abstraction, and you have an OS layer with a database layer, and all the containers sitting on top of that. That enables you to have all kinds of tooling that you would like, right? And then the Dash is really about, okay, we're going to extend the SONiC underlay data plane, right, to go beyond the stateless packet processing to start having the fully modeled, right, P4 modeled data plane and the behavior model to support the stateful workload, right? It gives a minimum 10 to 100x the performance of whatever the hardware can achieve today, right? And we want to preserve the philosophy of being hardware vendor agnostic, right? So those things are the standard, right? Are being defined in the public GitHub, so everybody can extend from it, can build to be conforming to that, right? And with the test suite, so that everybody can kind of self-evaluate on the readiness of that. Right, so this is another view of the same picture, right? So you see the hardware that there's NPU, that basically switching ASIC connected to a number of DPUs to build this foundation of a smart switch, right? And then you have the sourcebound, the SI Dash APIs that can manage with the standard SI model to manage the switch ASIC, and with the extended Dash model to manage the DPUs. Right, and they fit very well into the Redis database model in SONiC, except that there's additional Dash objects, right, instead of standard SI objects. And that allows the SDN northbound API to manage those things, right? So instead of a BGP managed setup, right? So okay, this is yet another view of it, right? So how the data actually flows, right? What are the engine? You open it up on where the config goes, right? So basically, the DPU or NPU are just programming models, right? In the SI objects, right? And everything that your familiar SONiC interface can write on unleash the power of the DPU, right? And in many situations, allow the DPU and the NPU, the switch ASIC, to work harmoniously together to deliver the SDN services, right? So, and those kind of smart switch, right, that fit into the data center fabric really well. And there's a number of places it can fit in, right? So on this diagram, I put into the tier 1 layer of the data center, right? That's where you can put in the standard switch with the DPU, and you can certainly put on the T0, or you can hand it out on the as an appliance, right? So, or other parts of the network. So that basically becomes a network gear, right? With the data offload and with a lot of GPU processing power. Right. So with that kind of thing, it allows you to build a SDN kind of service graph, right? With everything hooked up together, integrate from the host, right? And with the traffic that flow into the NPU naturally, and then the programming model of SONiC on the smart switch will be able to intelligently decide whether that is a workload that requires offload assistance from the DPU, or that is a workload that is just requires standard packet forwarding. Right? For workload that requires a standard packet forwarding, it will not take away the precious DPU bandwidth, right? And while if it is a workload that requires acceleration, right, with VXLAN encapsulation or GRE or whatever, right, and you can go branch it to the DPU to get that offloading assistance, right, and those kind of things will fit into the infrastructure easily, right, and with the power of a smart switch like this, right, it is becoming essential that a lot of service is going to be leveraging that, and it becomes super important to make it highly available, right? Because now you can actually have millions and millions of flow concentrated on one device, right? And with a single device, it's just bound to fail for whatever reason: hardware fault, power failure, fire, water, right, or whatever other factors that you name it that could cause you a failure, right? So for higher at the service layer, we have to design this thing to have a very high availability, and the high availability is much more beyond a standard kind of typical switch, right? That you have all the flow state, right? Because you're actually offloading millions of flow, right? You really do not want to disrupt in your flow. So the SONiC community are working very closely together to help the DPU to define how this HA model, the failover, will need to happen, right, and on a per flow base, right, and without performance sacrifice, because the thing is meant for offload, right, and for as an accelerator. So if actually for the HA, if we actually slow down the connection, that wouldn't make any sense, right? So the community defined a lot of how the packet is being flowed between the two smart switches, right, and maybe place it in a different failure domain for them to build a synchronized state without delaying the performance. Right? How do you monitor the DPU link state with BFD? Right, the mirroring of flow state with standby, right, and how we can forward the packets with a standard ECMP, so instead of complicating the things, right? So there's a lot of detailed design. This one slide certainly won't be able to cover it. It took months and months of effort in the community to actually go through the detail level design, right, and build the code, right? So basically, this is one project, right, of SONiC that is happening, right? And there's probably that depending on the area of interest, there's many other projects that you might be interested in, right? And maybe you're more interested in optical, you're more interested in AI, you're more interested in other parts of the system, right? Our call is, hey, come and join the community, right? For Dash, you can find the Dash GitHub and the SONiC Foundation.dev and the mailing list, right? So let's work together to make things better, right? So thank you very much, and Yenzhao and I are happy to take any questions you have if you have.
Thanks a lot, Lewa. If there is any question in the room, okay. If not, thanks a lot, Dave and Lewa both, for joining late as well as presenting. And thanks a lot,
Thank you.
Yenzhao, also for presenting the data. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
you.
Have a fun event.